Hey guys, welcome back to Hursty and Zini, and welcome to another Pokemon Pocket TCG video. I'll start by saying apologies for my slight hiatus on the channel. Been super busy with stuff. It's been a hectic sort of end of last year and start to the new year this year, so my bad. But massive, obviously, thank you to Jordan for keeping things coming out as often and as frequently as he could. What a guy. But today I am back with another deck build on Pocket TCG, and this one is another sort of budget build. It's super low budget. There's not really too crazy much to shout about or show off here. It's just a pretty cheap deck using Pokemon that are exclusively from the second set of packs we had. That one. And as I said, this is a budget deck, and by that I mean there's no EXs, there's no like crazy difficult cards to pull. These are cards that are pretty straightforward and nothing too crazy to shout about. I'm not going to promise you that this deck is going to win you 100 times out of 100. I will promise you though that it's a pretty quick deck to get out there, get some decent mons out that can do some decent stuff, and actually kind of just basically beat other decks before they get much of a chance to get going. That's sort of the vibe with it. So without further ado, let me show you the deck. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. Let's get into it. So here we are. It is my budget deck, and I run 3 lines of Pokemon. I run a Bohemian line, or I run 2 Bohemian lines. I run 2 Florges lines, and I run 2 Sigilifs. Now, previously, when I had been using this, I actually ran a promo Jigglypuff and then the Wigglytuff EX, just for like extra sleep frustration, just putting some mons to sleep and stuff. And that was quite good for stalling, but I actually found it slightly more efficient for me personally to actually just get a Sigilif out there, hit, and just get extra cards, because it's kind of like, it sort of almost does the same thing as stalling. The reason you're stalling is to either like maybe try and build stuff up in your deck and get the energy and stuff onto your cards, or to draw the cards you need. And in this deck, because the most energy you need on any Pokemon is 2, it's basically, I was stalling to draw cards, so I thought this makes the most sense. It's got more health, it does a tiny amount of damage, it does 10, so that's not really the main reason, but getting a free card basically every turn as an extra draw while it's out there is pretty helpful. So that's the Sigilif. If you don't know some of these other cards, Elgyem is just a straight up hits for 20 damage, nothing too crazy, only takes 1 energy. And when you evolve into Bohemian, it's the same amount of energy, only 1 energy. It does 10 damage, but it does an extra 20 damage for every benched Pokemon that your opponent has, so a maximum of 70 damage. Again, Bohemian's not really out there to do crazy damage. He's kind of out there to do an amount of damage for a cheap amount of energy, and it kind of was just like, if you're coming up against it like a Pikachu deck, for example, it was super helpful. You 2-shot a Pikachu, or you can, obviously if they've got a full bench, or you can do a decent amount of damage to any like stall that they've got out there while they're building up a bench. So I just found him quite helpful, and again, for the cost of 1 energy to be able to do up to 70 damage is pretty helpful. And the other line that we are running, as I said before, is a Florges line. You start off with a Flabebe, who just like the Jigglypuff puts him to sleep, it just has 10 less health, which is what it is. Then you've got Floette, which has got 70 health, does 40 damage for 1 energy, and actually heals 10 damage to itself as well. So I found this can sometimes be relatively helpful if you've taken a bit of a hit on that first turn. Maybe you've just been attacked by a base Pokemon, so it's done maybe like 20 or 30, and all of a sudden you're able to kind of actually survive an extra hit just because of that 10 healing. It doesn't sound like too much, but it does add up a little bit. And then when you get into Florges, for 2 energy, you've got 120 health as well, which is lovely. You do 80 damage for 2 energy, and you heal 20 damage to all of your Pokemon, which is awesome. It's up to 80 healing in 1 turn if all of your bench Pokemon and your active Florges all have some form of damage on them. It's really helpful. It's good for some survivability, and again, for 2 energy, it's phenomenal. It's a 80 damage for 2 energy plus up to 80 healing is a really good exchange, in my opinion. What's really helpful about this deck as well is all of the Pokemon are only 1 retreat cost. So if, for example, you have a Bohemian out there, wrong Pokemon, a Bohemian out there, and it's taken a good amount of damage, you could actually just swap it out for your Florges on your bench and start healing it over a turn or 2. So you can kind of save a couple of cheeky points there as well. I do have an X speed as well if you kind of want to save the energy, but again, with energy not being a massive issue with this deck, you could remove the X speed. And if you want to go full on the drawing into this deck, you could use the tablet card. I'll show you the one I mean. I kind of forget what it's actually called, but the psychic tablet thing, I think, there we go, the mythical slab. I was close. You could use that and actually be able to just increase the possibility of drawing cards into your deck. So there's options. You kind of can go either way. I'll run it with this one for now because this is how I have been running it. But yeah, the hope and aim with these cards is to basically outbuild your opponent relatively quickly. Obviously, you've got some evolutions to do. You don't have any like solid base Pokemon apart from obviously the Sigilif to kind of get the drawing of your other cards in there. But the main thing really is you kind of want to get a Florges built and ready to get out there and heal the Pokemon you've had previously, or of course get out there and just do some damage for itself. So without further ado, let's try this bad boy out. Okay, here we go. As I say, I'm not going to act like this is going to win you every single fight, but hopefully I'll be able to show off that it can, in the right situations, be a pretty helpful one. It's one of those ones, it's like the Blaine deck. Blaine is one of my go-to decks with the new Rapidash cards and Ponyta, obviously, and then the Ninetales. Now, we do have a Flabébé and we have a Florges, but we don't have a Floette, so not crazy ideal. A Stalling Druddigon, that's okay. I'm not going to be hitting Druddigon. I don't think Hypnotic Gaze will trigger the 20 damage, right? Because, yeah, damn it, I'm not damaging it, so I'm not going to be triggering that. So it's not really, it doesn't really matter if I use my sleep on it at all, unless they start building up the Druddigon, which time will tell. But we also get an Elgyem, so we'll whack Elgyem on the bench. We'll start with a Pokeball here and see if we can draw into, I was going to say another Flabébé would have been okay. Not the end of the world. Otherwise, I would have happily had a Sigilif here. This is where a Sigilif would be a really good start. We do get the other Flabébé too. Okay, I'm going to whack Flabébé on the bench. I might as well just put it to sleep, just for the sake of saying that we did it. The other reason I've done that is if I draw into a Sigilif, I can retreat and then bring the Sigilif out, which is kind of where I want to be. I want to be able to bring the Sigilif out and start getting the extra draw per turn. Although I'm taking a little bit of damage, that's okay, because if I take a couple of hits and then I bring out my hopefully fully built Florges, I can heal the damage I'm taking off the Druddigon, which also, it actually negates the Druddigon damage that you take. So I think you heal before you take damage is the only thing. I'm not too sure. We'll find that out as and when, if we get a chance to try that, hit it and see what happens. But yeah, these sleep checks are somewhat pointless because it's currently not going to be attacking me. But it woke up anyway. I need a Floette, please. Perfect. Please and thank you. Ask and you shall receive. So I might as well whack the second energy on that Floette for now. And I might as well just hit it. I'm going to take 20 and then heal 10. We'll see which way round it happens. Do I take the damage first? I do take the damage first and then I heal, which is... in this situation, oh no, I don't. I heal before. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay, in some scenarios that would be more beneficial. In this scenario, it wasn't, which is a shame. But beggars can't be choosers, so I shall not beg because I can't choose. But okay, I'm feeling pretty okay about this. I still would like a Sigilif out there, which we haven't had just yet, but that's okay. Gonna whack the other energy again onto Flabébé. So I'm going to heal 20 and then take 20. So I'm not going to use my potion because I'm going to get my free 20 healing first anyway. So that's fine. So I go back up to 120, back down to 100. And he's only got a Magikarp out at the moment. I have a feeling he's got to have more Pokemon in his hand. He's just not playing them yet. Maybe it's because he saw the Elgyem and he knows that Behemoth does build up damage. I'm not too sure. We'll find out. But again, hopefully this is showing for pretty low energy costs, I'm able to do some decent damage. Okay, he's got a Greninja build, and he does have the Gyarados put on there as well. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm kind of okay with that. Misty, I'm less okay with that. That is more of a problem. Okay, I need a tail. Thank you, Coin Gods. I appreciate you. Big help on that one. Okay, so there's the Behemoth. So I'm going to whack Behemoth there. Give it the extra energy. No need for the potion because I'm going to heal anyway. We're going to do... unless he's got another Misty. I don't quite do enough damage. This is a small problem, but not an unsurmountable one. I actually have to put this Elgyem on the bench just because if he doesn't have Misty, I don't quite do enough damage, but it's not the end of the world. But I have a plan. I do have a plan. Next turn, if he just puts one energy onto Gyarados, I actually... oh, this could be bad. I would have used a Misty first if I was him. Double... come on, Tails. coins are on our side today. Okay, great. It's a game of luck. Let's be real. There's my Sigilif, just as I put my Eldrim down. Great. But I'm actually going to retreat here. We're going to retreat Florges into Bohemian. I then put my other energy back onto Florges so it's ready. Bohemian will die this turn, but it's going to do 30 damage, which takes Gyarados into killing range with Florges. That's the thought process there, while keeps my Florges alive as well. So that was the play. We know he's got no other Misties. He might have some healing, obviously. If he has a potion or something, then not ideal for me. But there was methods in the madness there in retreating the Florges to keep it alive, to deal damage. But hopefully this shows. Obviously, I've got all of my mons apart from the Sigilif out there and was like ready to go out the gate. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Greninja saves him here. I think he's probably going to hit the Florges. Yeah, which is fine, because I'll heal that damage next turn anyway. Well, actually, we win next turn anyway, again, unless he has some form of healing, which I don't think he's going to, because I feel like he'd have used it by now. We will find out together. Yep, just attacks. Rampaging Whirlpool. His mon's the only one left, so I think he automatically loses the energy. Maybe not. Maybe it took the energy off of my Bohemian. It must have done. But that's okay. Out comes Florges. 80 damage. Kills the Gyarados. We're good to go. I don't need to stall it, so I'm just going to do the attack. There is our second and third point, and it's a big win. And yeah, again, it's just keeping the Mons alive as long as you can. Again, Florges is the main card here. I cannot stress that enough. Bohemian's great and can be super helpful in clutch scenarios. For such a low energy cost is basically the vibe. Yeah, this Florges card is a card I've massively been sleeping on. I didn't really see the potential in it until I put it into a deck and just gave it a go. So we'll go again. We'll try another one. Okay, battle number 2. We will see if we can keep up maybe a little win streak. That'd be quite nice, just to again try and show a little bit of what it can do. But this time we're going first. Again, it's not really a huge problem because it doesn't really set us back too crazy much. But we actually have a Sigilif out the gate, and we have an Eldrim out the gate. Really nice start for us. He has got an Articuno EX. Okay, so another Misty tech here, most likely. It'd be interesting if it's an Articuno, maybe an Articuno Starmie vibe. I don't know. Some people seem to be running Blastoise a lot now with it as well, which not a bad one. We actually get a full Florges line here as well, which is great news for us. Okay, so we actually have our full lines of everything. We have a Sigilif out front. We have a full Bohemian line. We have a full Florges line. This is a phenomenal starting hand. If we'd have gone second here, that would have been what a first turn that would have been. But that's okay. Double evolution. Wrong. I was trying to put the Florges straight down. We don't really need the Sigilif at this point, but it's helpful just to get the extra cards in your hand, just for the sake of it at this point. But yeah, this is a really, really good opening hand for us. Doesn't seem like he started with a Misty, which is interesting. Now, he's going to be able to pull off a Blizzard next turn, which isn't crazy ideal for us. So Sigilif dies regardless unless I retreat it, which I don't think I want to. What I should have... should I have Behemoth there? No, I don't think I should have done. No, I think I made the right play. I'm gonna stick my guns and say I made the right play there. We also draw the other Flabébé. I need to say Sigilif. So we will throw the Eldrim out there. There's no point using the potion because Sigilif is just gonna die. So I'm not gonna bother with that. I can take it down to 20 health. Sorry, down to 20. Down another. So 120. Floor just goes in. Cool. I think we win this maths here without him healing. If he heals, I don't win the maths. That's fine. But Sigilif will go down. We bring out Florges. He does heal. Okay. I'm now less confident on the math part. But we should be... Actually, we should still be okay. Sabrina. Sure. I will... What will I... Oh, what's the smart play here? Is it Bohemian? And hope for an X speed? How many cards? I can't see how many cards I have. Okay. We will... We'll Elgin. We'll let him get the point. I want Florges out next turn. And he wouldn't have killed Bohemian. So that's fine. It's fine. Hopefully I've not misplayed that. We get some healing on our bench next turn as well. So Sigilif will survive a little bit longer. That's okay. So we'll Pokeball. We'll get our last Sigilif into our hand. But I am going to play the Flabebe card on the bench. Second energy onto Florges. We're going to hit for 80, which will drop him to 60. I'll be fully healed. Yeah, no, we did win this maths here. That's okay. He's not put any other cards out, which is really interesting. No other Pokemon have been played yet, which is an odd move. But this time, if he Sabrina's us again, well, he can't now. We would have sent out Bohemian because Bohemian would have survived the hit, and then next time we could have retreated. But yeah, I think I was going to say, I think we win this maths here because he's only got one potion left. He's going to take 80 damage. Yeah, I think we win this maths because I got 2 potions. That's his last potion. He can't heal anymore, so he's going to take 80 damage. So that kind of was a wasted potion, in all honesty. But that's okay. I think we've won, provided I've not massively goofed my maths here, which I don't think I have. We should be fine. So another 80 damage. I'm just going to put that on the Bohemian so he's got it. Takes out Articuno. And then even if he evolves into Frogadier, I think we're good. Fingers crossed. But again, hopefully you guys are seeing this is just a super... I mean, this time we did get quite lucky. We started with all of the mons we needed to start with, which there is obviously big perks and bonuses in having that. Yeah, we win this because it's guaranteed 80 damage. Sabrina changes me out into Bohemian. That's fine. You're only going to do 30. Next turn, we bring Bohemian back because it's only a 1-cost retreat. Bring out Florges again. Big win. I won't waste time because I simply don't need to. That would be silly. And there it is. Back-to-back wins. Happy with that. It's just a fun little set. I really do enjoy it. It does good damage. It's easy to obtain. It's pretty straightforward in actually running the deck. I did have to do a little bit of internal maths, but I was massively overthinking it. I'll keep it real with you. That was on me for overthinking it. But yeah, Florges is such an underrated little card because the Sabrina play becomes a problem if you can't survive hits. Florges makes it very possible to survive hits. Like, if you bring something out that next turn you can retreat, bring out a Florges, you buff it 20 health again, and if they try and force it with another Sabrina, you kind of counteract it again. So again, I won't act like this deck is perfect because there are definitely going to be scenarios where you will lose. I've played against a couple of Celebi decks and they've managed to stall me enough that they've managed to build up a Celebi with a good few amount of energy and a superior, and all of a sudden they just need 3 coin flips and my Florges is gone. It's hard to like out damage 50 per heads when they've got like they're flipping like 6 heads a turn. That can be where that line gets drawn a bit, but the hope is that you can beat them to that chase. You can get your Florges out there and start hitting things. You can start knocking a few things down and keeping mons alive enough that you kind of counteract it ever so slightly. But that's been this super budget Florges deck. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Any questions, do comment down below, and if you try this deck and enjoy it, let me know your thoughts as well. Any changes you would make? What were your thoughts maybe on me having the Jigglypuff line in over the Sigilif, or potentially running another duo there? Let me know if there's anything else you would maybe run in over the Sigilif, and also the thoughts on, instead of the X-Speed, which we didn't, I don't think we drew any of them, but B, I don't think we need them massively. Let me know your thoughts on that, because running the mythical stone tablet, I forgot what it's called already, slab, I think it was slab, who knows, running that to just potentially get more draw capability into your deck could also be pretty helpful. So let me know down below your thoughts and anything you would tweak. Make sure you hit the sub button, and yeah, thanks so much guys. We will both see you very, very soon. Some new cool fun stuff happening very soon on the channel, bringing some few things back, and obviously our videos together will be returning soon now that our schedules hopefully are ever so slightly realigning. But thanks guys, take care, see you later, have a good one.